What's going on, YouTube? Trucking in life here one more time, guys. Guys and gals and girls and girls. Yeah. Anyway, guys, today's video, this kind of a response video to like I did a video talking about how intermodal drivers are like the Navy SEAL of trucking. It was something among the topics. And I understand I got a lot of new subscribers on the channel, and I understand a lot of guys who just watched me for the first time, they don't go back and watch the older videos, so they really don't know what I'm about. All they see is a guy on YouTube talking about some stuff about intermodal, right? But if you guys take a moment and go back and browse through the channel, you'll see what I'm talking about. I've been at this for a while. I was already driving trucks over about close to 15 years before I even got on YouTube, close to it, something like that. But I get it. People are skeptical about everybody, so you got a lot of fake guru so-and-sos getting online saying they claiming and know a lot of stuff. I get it. But anyway, the purpose of this video right here, guys, is gonna be about intermodal drivers, or you all being on your own. You are on your own. And before I get into that, I'm finna break down briefly in this video different type of intermodal running, just to kind of put clarity to it, because if a person say, well, intermodal is not that bad, to me, I gotta think of a couple things first. And the companies I'm gonna name on this video, no shot at none of y'all or the companies or carriers out there, but I've seen this over the years. There's different type of intermodal running. There are different types. And I'm gonna try to break it down in this video without making this video super long. But anyway, you got like FedEx. Well, you had Yellow, they ain't around no more. You got FedEx, you got UPS, you got FedEx Freight, and ground. I said FedEx like as in general, but you got ground and freight. They come into intermodal. And you got a couple other guys that come into intermodal, like Estes, and you guys see RNL, they get into intermodal now, and stuff like that. I'm gonna focus mainly on FedEx Freight, FedEx Ground, and UPS. A lot of FedEx Freight guys, some of them guys get in the grid with us and have to find their own chassis. So they gotta get empties. They come in and get a lot of empties out of there. And a lot of the FedEx got their own chassis too, them purple ones. I don't know if you guys who drive FedEx over here in this side of town, this side of the world, they kind of got their own little chassis. It's not a lot of them, but I've seen them. But sometimes they use chassis pools too. So them guys, a lot of their boxes already reserved for them. FedEx, when you're a big dog, you could put money up and kind of make it easier on your drivers coming in and get it. Now, do they still catch smoke? Yeah, they do. But I'll be in the yard of FedEx almost every day. A lot of them guys, they don't catch a lot of smoke as us. I call us rail rats, right? We're rail rats. But anyway, FedEx, UPS coming there be chilling. I don't know. They come in, hook their sets up, and they get up out of there. Or sometimes they hook their boxes up on chassis. I'm pretty sure they got reserved boxes for them too. Because some railroads I go to, it says UPS only. They got their own section. So I'm pretty sure we go buzzing around over there. We ain't getting far. But anyway, so you got that type of rail yard where you got people that come in, they deal with the more manicured, the more they like safeguarded type of rail yard. So they really not taking a full blow of intermodal, right? So they in the intermodal business, but they not really deal with the whole hustle and bustle of intermodal. So that's one part of intermodal. If a guy say it's not that hard for me, I think he probably work with one of them companies that probably got it kind of sweet. They can make a call and the rails jump at every command, because sometimes these companies, they have big contracts with these big carriers, and the intermodal ain't no different. A trucking company might be their customer, so they ship a lot of their boxes through that intermodal ramp, through their ramps, so they want to make sure they take care of them, because that's like a bulk of their freight, right? But when you got like 1-2 here, 100 there, 20 boxes here, rail, like when you on your own, you gotta get in how you fit in. You know what I'm talking about? So kind of put a little clarity to that. So for those who say, before I go any further in this video, for those who think all intermodal drivers are not created equal, I just say that. Then you have intermodal drivers that come in, that have to come in fishing for their boxes and fishing for their chassis. Now, I'm gonna go into the 3s real quick. Now, you have intermodal drivers that drive a small outfits, whether they owner operators or company drivers. We have to come in, and this is where you have to deal with the full-fledged part of the rail yards. It means you gotta get in, you gotta find your box. You don't know what condition that box is going to be in when you get to it. It could be, I picked up if you guys see a lot of my videos, you see a lot of the damaged stuff I see. So I show you guys what I see. I can't show you everything, but I'll show you as much as I could. So you got a chance of coming in and your box is just all jammed up. And you got to figure out how to get that fixed or how to get it fixed yourself to get up out of there. But that ain't as bad as the other part of the division of areas I'm gonna name in a minute. And this will get to the point where I say everybody on their own. Now, them FedEx and UPS guys, they not really on their own. They kind of like got a big conglomerate behind them to support them. Small guys like us, like me, outfits I've been with and people I know, a lot of us, we are on our own. That's why I named the videos Area Intermodal Driver is on his own, right? And I call it the Navy SEALs or truckers, because if you hire an intermodal driver that's really getting down with the full-fledged intermodal, and you hire him with a company and he got like a regular van with one piece, he worry about trying to make sure two pieces working, like the box and the chassis. Oh man, you have a good driver in your hands. But I digress. But anyway, so you have full-fledged intermodal guys that come in, they gotta make sure their box is good, make sure they're able to get fixed, make sure they're able to fix it themselves, if not, at least get it fixed to get up the road. So now you have to get there where you gotta go. And I'm gonna get to a point after this next subject matter, or the same subject of the subject of the whole thing. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it makes sense in my head. There's categories. So anyway, 53 footers, they not as bad as the 40-20s, which brings me to the 40s and 20s. This is full-fledged rail yard right here. Now, the only thing that keeps this from being full-fledged is if you have private chassis. Now, I ain't finna go into that in this video, but that's pretty much what it boils down to. The carrier get tired of trying to find chassis in the rail yard, so they rent their own chassis or they buy their own chassis and they run in, which requires more lift-ons and lift-offs. But I'll get to that in a minute. Well, I'll get to that in another video. I ain't get to that in this video. I got plenty of videos talking about that early in the videos, archives. They're right here somewhere. But anyway, so you have 20s and 40s. Now, when you do that, you are full-fledged. I don't know what the top karate person is or martial arts person is, black belt, double black belt, or triple OG black belt, whatever it is. If you deal with them things, with the rail pool chassis, you are full-fledged, full rail yard experienced. Because that right there requires you to some, man, you gotta have a lot of know-how. You gotta find out how to get your boxes, how to get your chassis, how to find your box on the ground among hundreds of boxes. And then don't let it be like what they call that, a no location, but it's like, just call something else. When you have a location in your box, it means you don't know where the box at. The last person that moved it didn't put it in the system. Now guess what? You got to go fishing. It's been times I had to look through like 200 boxes to find my box. So now you got to look through the box. You got to find a good chassis first, and hopefully it's not a chassis shortage. And then you got to find your box amongst all these colorful boxes. I had got minor headache just thinking about that. I did. Look here. So anyway, when you deal with stuff like that, you deal with full-fledged rail yard at its fullest. And if you're able to navigate that on a day in, day out basis, you are real equipped to do intermodal. That's just my humble opinion. I dodged it for years. I ended up dealing with it for about 4 or 5 years. I could do them if I had to. I really don't. Them things is just, they something else. Anyway, so point of the video. I believe that every intermodal driver is on his own. Besides that first category with the UPS and FedEx guys, and them Snyder dudes, them Snyder guys too. Them guys and them JB Hunts, all them guys deal. They got their own league. They not dealing with the hustle and bustle like the everyday in the grit real intermodal driver. So besides them guys, the other categories, the 53s, the regular chassis pool, 53s and 20s and 40 guys, they are on their own, especially in them 20s and 40s. But I see it in 53s too. It's been times where I go to a customer to pick up a box and then sit on top of the pen. Now, I didn't say rail yard. I said customer. That somebody dropped off there and left the box on. They took the box there on the pen. Now, sometimes they may know about it, sometimes they may not. But if let's just say I have to make that load count for the next day. Let's say work is real slow and I can't really turn down that load because I need that load to make my week kind of decent. You gotta ask yourself a question. what you gonna do? Before you ask yourself a question, what you gonna do, you gotta think about it. What if that driver had the same dilemma? What if he's in the rail yard and that flip line or get the adjustment was so long, he's like, hey man, I gotta take my chances on this. I got it to the customer, it's on you now, it's on the next guy. This business right here is designed for dog eat dog. It's designed for survival of the fittest. I mean that literally. Like if your livelihood is dependent on you moving a certain amount of loads per day, the driver before you, if he get a bogus box or a bogus chassis, and it's between him and you eating for that day, I'll give you an example. Like earlier, yesterday from this video, I was in a rail yard. I was looking for empty EMA shoes. I call EMP electric magician power. I don't think it stands for that. Somebody told me what it meant, but I forgot. Anyway, if you remember what the EMP stands for on EMA shoes, put in the comments below. Somebody mentioned it before. But anyway, I was after them boxes. Anybody watch any one of my videos when I was trying to look for empties, they be messed up, right? So what I did was I parked my truck. I see guys buzzing around. They trying to find good empties. I done been through like 20 empties before I finally found one that's kind of decent, but I had one problem. I had parked my truck. I got tired of moving my truck trying to find an empty. So what I did is I parked my truck and I walked through lanes. I just went on foot because you cover more ground on foot than you could in a truck. So I found a box, but it was like 2 lanes over. I cut through lanes. And I was over there and I was looking through it, making sure it was good, whatever. And I said, okay, this one's decent. I'm finna get the truck. I'm gonna come back around. Well, by the time I got back around there was another guy buzzing around by the box. And we pulled up at the same time. I didn't think he was going for that box, but he was. So I pulled up, he pulled up. I'm like, hey, I already went for this. Well, let me rewind back. The guy that was buzzing around, he was like further down the lane. He was going through boxes looking too. But I had seen him, and he seen me walking across the thing. Now granted, he don't know what I was going, he don't know where I was going, he don't know what I was down there doing, so I give him the benefit of the doubt. But my shirt, I mean, I don't know, he should have seen something. He seen me walking. So what happened was, we came back around together. By the time I came back, got my truck, came back around, we was window to window, and I was put up, so I said, hey, he's punching the number in the app, like. I said, no, hey, no, man, that's mine, I already checked it out. I had to walk and get my truck to bring it back and get it. He's like, what? I said, I already checked this one, this is mine. He was like, what? I'm like, we doing this right now? Are we really doing this, man? I said, you seen me walk across the field. I already checked it. He was like, whatever. He started throwing his hand everywhere. He started driving off all fast. So that's what I'm saying. If I wouldn't have got around there in time, guess who would have got that box? Him. Do you think if somebody sitting around and say, hey guys, don't fight over this one empty, it's plenty more good ones in the yard? No, the reason we're going to fight over that one empty is because it's not a lot of good ones in the yard. So if you don't know that, if you're an intermodal driver and you don't know that, it was either me or him. My truck so happened to be closer to the box. I kind of got that a little bit, like a couple inches before he did, because he was on the outside, I was on the inside, so he couldn't back up under it if he wanted to. I pulled by the box, and I did that on purpose, because I already checked that box. And if I would have pulled back a little further, he'd probably forget you. He would have probably pulled him and backed him to it. Then, we have to go to the next level after that, which is probably me pulling off, because it ain't that deep. I found something else, but it was between me and him. Now, who knows how long he was in there looking for that empty? I was in there for about a good 30, 40 minutes just to find that one decent one. That's what I'm saying. It's a dog eat dog out here, so you got to be on your own, especially if it's a chassis shortage and you pull a bogus chassis because it's the only one left in the yard. Or, I'm gonna say this when I'm in this video, guys. I don't want these videos to be too long. Or, you get a reservation number for a chassis. You deal with 20s and 40s, you'll deal with this. You'll get a reservation for the chassis, the chassis depot, or the chassis, or the rail yards to say, hey, we got this many chassis over here. We'll give you this many reservation numbers. We'll give you this. Your company get this many, they get this many. Now, they may give out 20 reservations, but it's only like 6 chassis there. Whoever get that first, guess who getting the chassis? Now, you might ask yourself a question like I did. Why would y'all give out 20 reservations if it's only 6 good? Because they know some guys may not come, some guys may not show up, or whatever. Or it probably was 20 chassis shown in their system 2 weeks ago, but nobody updated it. So now it's only 6 in there. So this is the type of stuff you deal with. So if you guys go and watch some of my older videos, you'll see me fighting over chassis, man. You see me trying to fight, waiting on Mr. Crane dudes. I literally stalked Mr. Crane dudes, stalked spotters for chassis. I've hawked and hounded and harassed everybody. You know, people telling you, hey man, it's my chassis. It go down in the rail. I'm telling you. So, any intermodal drivers out there, you've been doing this the full-fledged side, you know what I'm talking about. It is every driver is literally on their own. You have to figure it out. Even your company that you probably drive for or leased onto or whatever, they don't even know what's going on in the rail yard. They calling you, asking you questions. Hey, what happened in there? You tell them you don't know what happened in there? You tell them you don't understand this business? A lot of times they don't even understand the business. They in the office punching numbers and looking at a screen telling them, well, the rail yard showed 25 chassis there. Why you can't find one? Well, because in the real world, in this real rail yard, I only see one. And this got like 2 tires missing. What you want me to do? You see what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, I hope that puts some clarity to when I say intermodal drivers are on their own, not the guys who dealing with the big carriers and the guys who got pulled in the rail yard. They got their problems too, but it ain't nowhere near the full-fledged problems over here on this side, guys. That's all I'm saying. Ain't no right or wrong. If you're on the good side, if you're on the side where they kind of take care of you, man, stay on that side, get taken care of. But if you're on the other side, just know you gotta get in the grit and get it done. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, that's it for this video, YouTube. So, all right, YouTube. Hope this video was helpful. Give you a look, understand what's going on here. I'll see you guys in the video. Peace.